Remember we talked about music being patterns, patterns of sound. Fast notes, slow notes, short notes, long notes, quiet sounds, loud sounds, just silent periods where there are just breaks in the sound, and all of that is music. Let's take a look at some of these patterns. Okay, so let's look at numbers 1 and 2. Numbers 1 and 2, and let's look at the patterns. If I ask you this question, where do the eighth notes happen in line number 1? Where do the eighth notes happen? You would say the eighth notes are the ones that are yellow, so they happen on 1 and 2. They don't happen on 3 and 4. They happen on 1 and 2. They don't happen on 3 and 4. So in line 1, the eighth notes happen on beats 1 and 2. That's where they happen. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. All the first part of each measure. Okay, so they happen on 1, 2. Great. Let me write that down. The eighth notes happen on 1 and 2. Okay, we got that. Look at line number 2. Where do the eighth notes happen? Where do they fall? Do they happen on 1 and 2 like up here? Well, no, those are quarter notes. There they are. Eighth notes happen on 3 and 4. How about here? 3 and 4. How about here? 3 and 4. And the last 3 and 4. Okay, so in line number 2, the eighth notes happen on 3 and 4. Oh, in number 1, the eighth notes happen on 1 and 2. But in number 2, the eighth notes happen on 3 and 4. So they just flip-flop the pattern. That was really cool. Way to go on that one. Let's look at numbers 3 and 4. If I ask you in line number 3, where do the eighth notes happen in line number 3? You'd look for the yellow notes. And you would say, well, they happen on 1, not 2, and 3, not 4. So 1, 3, 1 and 3, 1. They happen on 1 and 3. Those are eighth notes. I don't know if you remember line 4, but I bet you the eighth notes don't happen on 1 and 3. Well, let's just see. So if I asked you where the eighth notes fall in line number 4, you would say, no, you wouldn't say 1. You would say 2, and no, you wouldn't say 3. You would say 2 and 4. Well, let's see, is that true? 2 and 4, 2 and 4, 2 and, oh, the eighth notes happen on 2 and 4. So here we have, again, these patterns that they just switch around. So we have here in 3, 1 and 3, here in 4, 2 and 4. Oh, that almost rhymes. Oh, that's great. Okay. If I ask you the question, in line 5, where do the eighth notes fall? You look for the yellow, and you would say, well, they fall on 2 and 3. Not 4, not 1. They happen on 2 and 3. Not 4, not 1. They happen on 2 and 3 and 2 and 3. So 5, they happen on 2 and 3. I'll betcha line 6, they don't happen on 2 and 3, but I don't know. Let's take a look. Where do the eighth notes fall in line 6? They happen on 1, not 2, not 3, 4, 1 and 4, 1 and 4, 1 and 4, 1 and 4. Oh, 1 and 4. So that's how that pattern works. We had line 5, we had on 2 and 3, and 6, 1 and 4. Now I've had some students tell me, hey, I know how that works. You have them on the outsides, on this one, outside, outside, and you have them on the insides in that one. That's the way they just flip-flopped it. 2, 3, 1 and 4. Oh, I get the patterns now.